Vlogmas.
It's day 8, y'all.
Woo! Show y'all his tree that I put together from my little haul, my little estate sale haul. It's in his office. Isn't it cute? It's so cute. Just got little balls on it. It's got a little angel on top. It's just so cute. The keys are like, and this is what it looks like when he's on his calls. Can you see it? Can you see it? I like it. I like it. Here's Brendan not listening to me because he always has his headphones on. He's looking at me like that because he can't hear me. Oh, sorry. Here's William working on schoolwork. William got up and went to work this morning, y'all. And he's back home from work now. You go, William. Mommy loves you. What are you eating for breakfast?
I made fried rice. So I separated the eggs from the yolk. And then I mixed it with the rice, which I had made last night, and put it in the fridge. So this morning I took the rice out, mixed it with the egg yolks, and then cooked the egg white, and then tossed the rice in after.
How's it with basmati though? We're out of jasmine.
It works.
It works? Okay. That's an interesting breakfast. Got a new laptop for work, but it takes like 2 days to move everything from this one to this one. So yeah, that's gonna be it. What? Oh, you smell so good. Safe travels. So I wanted to show you the candles I bought yesterday. It was a black vendor out there at where did I go yesterday? The Four Seasons. Boy, I tell you, right? So it's a black vendor out there and he had a candle store. Let me show you what I got. This is brandy pear and spice. Comes in a nice box. It's an all soy candle with a cotton wick, and he makes them himself. It's a real simple jar. I like simple jars because I just like them to hide in the house. And this one, oh, I took the top off and it smells so, it smells so good. I can't wait to burn this. This one's gonna help the house smell like Christmas. I can smell it already. It's just like a Christmas tree. An endorsement. I just thought it was a really good thing to support. And he did all the candles himself. He had so many different flavors, right? A little advice here. He had so many different flavors. So go to his website and check it out. Why is it so dark? It's crazy how dark it is at 5:45. Me and William trying to rustle up some dinner. We're gonna do chicken wings and broccoli. My house to show you for Christmas. So Heath and I are going to talk about, I'm gonna go in here because William's getting dinner ready. Heath and I are going to talk about goals for next year. Because, you know, it's December. Got to start thinking about next year. We actually like to kick it in December. We start in December. We don't do it in January. We've got a really cool technique we've been doing for a few years. Check it out. I haven't seen my mom today, so I'm gonna go downstairs and visit. Hello. I was visiting mommy. She's just sitting down there and living her best life.
With the help of your toaster, keep it basic with nut butter and fruit preserves, or try one of Sandeep's favorite toppers, camembert and fig spread, ricotta with preserved lemon, goat cheese and honey.
So wait, stop, please stop. Can we tell everybody what the heck are we talking about? We talking about rich people bread.
We are talking about
That's what I'm gonna call it. You think they'll know what I'm talking about if I go in there? You have to go in and ask Whole Foods.
We are talking about seduction bread.
So tell them where it is and how you get it.
Seduction bread can be found at Whole Foods. And I'm reading an article about 3 ways.
But wait a minute.
Okay,
It can be found at Whole Foods, but you have to.
You got to order it?
Yeah, you have to request it.
You got to request it.
Y'all, what you got, baby?
It was an Amazon delivery. I brought it from the garage, and it says joy.
It's my new doormat. I really like it.
Look.
What? Oh, you know that's one of my favorite words. You know that.
It's also the root word for joyfully married after.
It is.
Can't have joyfully married after without joy.
No, you can't. Thank you, baby. You gonna put it out for me?
Yep.
Thank you.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, y'all. We're just getting through the end of the day, but we did want to talk to you about something that we do every year. We've done it now for what, three years in a row now?
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 years. You know, the last couple of years, of course, have been a little weird with the panorama and all of that. But, you know, anytime you are getting ready for a new year, you want to have some goals collectively, right? Goals for yourself, goals for your family. And so we're going to kind of share our list, our mental model, if you will, of how we go through preparing for the new year.
And not only do we do it for ourselves, but we also do it with the kids. They hate it. But they do it. And after they do it, they're like, thank you. I needed to do that.
Yeah, even when you have adult children, right? Regardless of where their ages are, you're still teaching them how to be whatever age they are, right? Because at the end of the day, you're older than they are. And so you can always bring some value to their lives and help them with some of these planning processes.
And I just wanted to ask you, how are you all enjoying Vlogmas? It's a little different for us. So it's a little bit of work. I do have a little bit of help, but for the most part, it's a little, we haven't done something like this in a while. We really, really hope you are enjoying it, and we have so much more coming in the month.
And vlogging is not really our normal format, right? And so, you know, it's a little different for us in general. I mean, we're comfortable in front of the camera, but this style of, you know, documentation of our lives,
of what we're doing and everything, it takes a little adjustment.
Well, it's a little different.
It takes a little bit of adjustment.
But it's also different for our audience too, right? Because they're used to consuming us.
Well, we've done vlogs
ways.
before.
We have, but it's not our primary.
So let us know in the comments how you're liking Vlogmas and what you want to see.
Yeah, we want to know what you think.
But to talk about our planning sessions. So these sessions usually take a couple of hours. This is not something you should, or more. It shouldn't be something that you rush into. You should have discussions around it. Like I said, we do this with each one of our kids, and it really, really helps set you up for success. It's so funny when we go back and look at the ones in the past. We're like, oh, we've done that.
Yeah.
And you've really we always talk about designing your life. So this is a good start. This is a good start in designing your marriage, designing your relationship to come, designing your life, your next move, your next job, your next career. So let's get started.
Yeah, I mean, in corporate, we talk about deep diving, right? And so this is the opportunity to do that. I mean, when you're talking about planning your life, planning your year, putting goals in place, creating action items around your goals, I mean, a couple 3 hours is certainly worth it.
You can do that.
Give you a North Star for the rest of the year.
All right, so the first thing you want to do is brainstorm.
Yeah, what I love about brainstorming is probably one of my favorite exercises, because what I love about it is that there are no wrong answers. There are no incorrect answers when you're brainstorming. So you can just literally like get everything out of your head, everything out of your brain, write it down, put it on a whiteboard, put it on paper, whatever it is that you're using to just collect and aggregate all the ideas that you have about the new year. And that's the exercise, right?
Yep. So when I think about brainstorming and what you need to do, just throw it all. It's spaghetti on the wall. Just think about anything and everything you've ever thought about doing or starting or accomplishing, like maybe writing a book or redoing a bathroom or losing weight, anything and everything, buying a new car, getting the house painted. It can be absolutely, there are no wrong answers here.
Yep.
So the first thing you want to do is brainstorm. If anything can happen to you next year, what is it and what do you want to do? Brainstorm. What's the second one? The second one
is your non-negotiables, right? So when you talk about your non-negotiables, it's sort of like, hey, what was my experience this year? What are the things that I absolutely hated? They stuck in my craw. They irritated me. I absolutely cannot deal with that in this coming year. I will not allow it. I will not tolerate it. I will not deal with it. It is a non-negotiable.
Yeah, like for this year, one of my non-negotiables are my COVID pounds. They got to go. They're going to be gone this time next year. I think one year we had an old, it wasn't old, but we had an old Suburban that we had stopped driving.
It was a Yukon.
It was a Yukon, I'm sorry. And it was just sitting in the driveway. It was just sitting in the driveway. Just, the people have the car that just sits in the driveway. We had one of those.
We had one.
So one year, one of my non-negotiables was
getting rid of the car.
Yeah.
Things
like that.
I was like, what? The car still, you can still use that car.
My other non-negotiable, what's my other non-negotiable is we have this couch in our bedroom upstairs. I hate it. I hate that couch.
That's your non-negotiable for this coming year?
That's one of them.
Okay.
You can have many, but that's one of them.
Right.
Okay.
The couch
So
must
think
go.
about your non-negotiables. Any non-negotiables you come up with, babe?
Yeah, definitely the panorama pounds. Woo, good Lord. They got to go.
They got to go.
Gots to go.
I've already started working on mine. I've lost 2 pounds this week.
Go on with your bad self, Miss Tracy.
Start now. That's the other thing. So number 3 is how much money will you make next year? And how will you make it? We don't ever talk about this. People think, oh, I have a job and I'm doing my job and, that's it and that's what it's going to be. Write it down, guys. You can really, really make things happen. You can really, really manifest your future. If you sit around and you write it down and you talk about how much you're going to make and you talk about how you're going to make it. It's so cool to go back a year or 2 or 3 later and look at it and bam, you've done it or you've surpassed it. It happens every single time.
It causes you to have to think about it, right? And so when you really begin to pontificate and think through the things of what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, how much money you want to make, right? Figuring out what the framework of that, boom, next thing you know.
And you have to be specific. Well, that's why you want to know how much money you're going to make next year and how are you going to make that money.
Right.
Are you going to do a side hustle? Are you going to get an extra job? Are you going to try to sell a book? Are you going to try to do cooking classes? Are you going to start a new business? Those things need to be written down and you need to figure out how they're going to manifest. But you got to start with writing it down.
And how much income will come from each one?
The next one is, what do we want to happen?
What do you want to happen?
What do you want to happen next year?
Yeah, so that really dovetails nicely from what you just mentioned, right? Is if you want to create a business, then how successful do you want that business to be financially? If you are going to create a side hustle, what are the goals? What do you want that result to look like with that side hustle? Super important stuff.
This one doesn't change for us year to year. I think last year or last couple of years we wrote, we want to build a media company. And when you think about that, that's a lot. And there's nothing wrong with writing that down and looking at it every year or looking at it every few months. We keep ours in notes and we keep them in docs.
Yep.
So it's an ever-changing document, and I just go in there and change it and update it year to year to year to year. And you actually sit down and discuss each and every part of it.
Yeah, sometimes you can update it quarter to quarter, just depending on when you're having progression and accomplishments with it.
Yeah, sometimes you just feel like, we need to talk about this. You know?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And the last one is, look back to move forward. What does that mean?
You dive into that one, baby.
So look back to move forward is, what do you need to do, or what did you do differently? What do you need to do differently to move forward? Like, okay, so I mentioned losing COVID pounds. So I know I need
Panorama pounds.
Yeah, I know that I need to figure out a different workout routine. I got really thrown off by the panorama because I'm a swimmer, and I couldn't swim anymore when everything happened. And then on top of that happening, we moved to a whole nother town. So I had to find a different pool and figure out, a whole nother state. Figure out their hours and the whole night. And I still haven't figured out.
Yeah.
So what I have to do is, one, look at that, analyze all of that, and decide, well, what am I going to do? I can't do that anymore. So what am I going to do now? And yeah, when we were looking for a house, we were looking for a house with a pool.
We were.
But few of them slipped through the cracks. But the thing about it is you have to look forward. Really take a hard look. You have to look back to go forward.
Yeah.
Really look at what you can do differently, what you need to do differently. How did you get to where you are so you can move forward?
Yeah, I think another way to think about that is to look back on things, on the successes and the failures that you've had.
Most definitely.
Right? What worked well, what didn't work. And then double down on the things that did work well, and also understand some other things that you want to add.
So to recap, we like to recap.
Gotta get you to recap.
The first one is brainstorm. And you can sit down and do this after the new year, but I would do it before the new year. Brainstorm. The second one is figure out your non-negotiables, right? What are you not going to take into the new year? 3, how much do you want to make this year, and how are you going to make it?
Yes.
Number 4 is, what do you want to happen? You're doing all this. You're going to work. You're moving to a new town. You're doing whatever you're doing.
Think about it.
What do you want to happen?
Right.
And lastly, you want to look back to move forward. What do you need to do differently to make everything that you've just written down happen?
Make it happen, y'all. Make it happen, Captain.
Give us some comments on what you think about that.
So, hope your day was great. We had a great day.
I thought I had a great day.
No, we're shutting it down.
Shutting it down, y'all. Have a good evening.
See y'all later.
See you tomorrow.